Hi everyone, Sailor Jupiter, Sailor King Lita here, and today I'm going to talk about, did Naoko Takiguchi say or never said that only women or girls could be sailor fighters? Now the Sailor Moon followership says that yes, she did say it. Well, why is it that I can't seek that anywhere on the interwebs? Is it that I'm not putting in only girls can be fighters or only girls can be keepers, and that's why that whiff isn't coming out? Now, a lot of folks out there like to say a lot of things, make up things too. If there's any truth to it, well, a lot of folks don't care, you know. Now, here's my take on this only girls can be fighters or keepers. Now in the Sailor Moon world, that is probably the grounds to how they got their might. That is not saying that a man could not be a sailor keeper or a sailor fighter. I don't really believe that there's anything that goes against that. But I know there's going to be folks saying, oh, well, in Sailor Moon's world, only the girls and the women get chosen to be sailor fighters and sailor keepers. Well, if that was true, then by the fifth following, God had shifted the oversight. Believe it or not, the fifth following of Sailor Moon Sailor Stars, undid that whole thing with Sailor Star Fighter, Maker, and Healer. Dustin, Jordan, and Jillian. And I know a lot of folks are going to say, oh, no, they're going to say in the drawing book, they're going to say in the funny book, and they're going to say, well, they were women that played that they were men. Need be in the funny book, that may have been how it was handled. But in the drawing film, the first drawing film, they were men that had to shapeshift when they became sailor fighters. So that whole oversight was, dropped. God shifted the oversight by the time the Sailor Starfighters came along, right? And a lot of folks say that Naoko Takiguchi didn't like TOEI for shifting the Sailor Starfighters and making them so far away from what they were in the funny book at the time. And I know there's going to be some folks saying that, oh, well, in the 2000, 24 between the 2000 YL Sailor Moon, they are women who, when they came to Earth, they show played or clothed themselves to look like men, or however they went by doing it in the funny book and also in the new telling of Sailor Moon. But in the old first drawing film, 9 between 92 YL till 9 between 95 YL, they were men who, when they shape-shifted, they then became women or whatever. And that may have made it, and that, so, if you want to believe it or not, the Sailor Starfighters, Maker, Healer, and Fighter, were the first men sailor fighters. And also I know there's some folks that, don't like that. And then later on, don't forget that Sailor Earth came along. Ernest, or Ernest P. Worrell, for anyone that knows him, came along. And if the Sailor Starfighters, Dustin, Jordan, and Jillian, Healer, Fighter, and Maker, opened that door up, well, then he just ran right through it. And don't forget you had Calvin Crosor, all known as Snoop Dogg, being Sailor Sun later on. I know it's lover tales, lover sagas, but whatever. There are some folks in the Sailor Moon followership that are not that open-minded. And they want you to make everything has to be law. If you're doing it by the drawing films or the drawing shows, then it has to be law. If you're doing it from the song plays or the plays, it has to be law. If you're doing it from the film games, it gotta be law. And a live show has to be law. Yeah, if you're making the true thing, then I guess you want to follow the law, or at least a setup of how it was there. But when you're doing a lover tales, a lover saga, you don't really have to follow that. And I know some of those folks out there would think, oh well, what would Naoko Takaguchi think about it? Well, she is very open-minded to a lot of folks' lover tales and lover sagas of Sailor Moon. Even if she can't read them all and understand all of them, she is open-minded to everyone's take of Sailor Moon, even if it is unlike her take and Toei's take. So I don't think she would not mind Sailor, there being a Sailor Earth or a Sailor Sun or whatever. Now, since the Sailor Starlights broke the Oversight, no one can say that that only girls can be fighters or keepers. And even if, let's say, Naoko Takaguchi came up with that oversight for why the women or girls were chosen in her world to be sailor fighters, that didn't really mean it had to be law for all the other Sailor Moon. Now, a lot of folks out there say that how the Sailor Starlights were handled by Toei was what made Naoko Takaguchi and Toei have a raw, which I don't even think that even happened. If that was true, neither of them would have been working together, and they're still working together on and off for years. So, anyway, the Sailor Starlights, we keep going back to them again. Healer, Fighter, and Maker, Dustin, Jordan, and Julian by the Sailor Moon, Sailor Stars Lover work, 1, which has, I only seen some of it, but not all of it. And I keep looking for it, but sadly it just doesn't ever seem, I can't seek anymore. But that was their names given to them in that take, and that is the names that I will go by. Now, at the end of the day, if that was an oversight that Naoko Takaguchi came up with, if I'm saying her name right or not, I don't know, then the Toei business didn't break the oversight, because their Sailor Moon, the drawing shows and the drawing films, are in their own law, and the funny books have their own law, and the film games got their own laws, and the plays got their own laws, and the live Farseer show had its own law. So yeah, every one of them had their own law, so neither was breaking anything. And even if there was, so what? Like I said, God shifted the oversight. If God made the oversight, then he shifted the oversight when the Sailor Starfighters came along, And getting back before we end this film, if it wasn't for the Sailor Starfighters, Healer, Fighter, and Maker, there would have been no Sailor Earth. Ernest P. Worrell would have not even had the door to walk through if they didn't open it first. And same could go for Snoop Dogg, Calvin Cosler. If there was no sailors, if there was no Dustin, Jordan, and Julian, then there would have been no door for either Ernest to walk through or even for him to walk through to become Sailor Earth and Sailor Sun. So, is this oversight true? Yeah, I guess so. I guess it's law to whatever take of Sailor Moon that you happen to go by. But I think it was broken a long time ago. If you like this film, then follow us over here at Sailor Moon for Life. Don't forget to share, thumb up, and playlist this film. Watch the film I made yesterday over here, and hit that ring until the next upload, live stream my short's been done. I, Sailor Jupiter Lita, or Sailor King, will see you later.